So today I'm going to talk about a topic that I think many people might go, oh, that's a cute message. It's a topic that may not seem serious, but I think it's very serious, and that's who your friends are. I want to talk about friendship and what true friendship is all about. Because we've been doing this series on main ingredients, like what's the main teaching when it comes to the family? What's the main teaching today that comes? We had the faith, family, and now friends. And what really does make a good friend? We're going to look in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 to 12. The book of Ecclesiastes is a book that I fell in love with when I was a teenager. I think every teen should read the book of Ecclesiastes. It's awesome. You read the book and you realize there's no point to life and it makes you kind of miserable, and yet there's wisdom in it and there's all these gold nuggets. And in this book, he talks about friendship in a very popular passage. I'll read the whole thing through, and then we'll go back through and look at it a little bit slower. Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity the fool, pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. True friendship. I want to start this by just painting this scenario for you. You have a 5-year-old in your car, and you're driving by a park, and you go, I have a few minutes. I'll let him run around and get some energy out. So you pull in. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl. You get the child out. Go have fun. We're just going to be here for a few minutes. They run up the jungle gym. They go down the slide. They get on the swing set. They run around in circles, play in the dirt. You look down. It's been 15 minutes. It's time to go. They get in the car with you, and you're driving away, and they announce, I just made a friend. You're shocked. Just now? Yes. Wait, on the playground, you've been there 15 minutes. You just made a friend? Yeah. Really? Yeah. I mean, okay. Who is this friend? I don't know. We're good friends. Yeah, okay. What's the child's name? Oh. Wait. You don't know the name of your new friend? They didn't tell me. Okay, well, what do they like to do? Oh. Well, wait a second. What were you doing with them? Were you playing superheroes, or were you being princesses, or what were you doing? Oh, just playing. But what were you playing? Huh? You're driving now. And as ridiculous as this whole scenario is, I think the most ridiculous thought is what adults begin to think. We're driving down the road and we think, that's so admirable. Isn't that wonderful how quickly children make friends? And I go, no, that's not admirable. That's dangerous. You don't want to just be friends with anyone just because they smiled at you. They're going to stab you in the back. Are they really a friend or not? Just because someone is friendly does not mean they're your friend. And there should be some caution in our lives. And we should help. I don't know if you had to explain this to a 5-year-old, but there should be some guidance throughout a child's life going, now, real friendship doesn't come that easily. Now, there might be something to admire here, how welcoming you are and how hospitable you are, but there's probably something for us to admire in children. But it's not the fact that everyone that comes through your life is going to be a friend just because they smiled as you're going down a slide. Who are your friends? And are they true friends? And so I want to look at the 4 characteristics of friendship today. These are the main ingredients. And this will teach us what we expect out of our friends. So this is who we're looking for. But it also teaches us what we need to be in order to be a good friend. So there's 2 lessons found in one, just what's the characteristics of a good friendship. Solomon begins and he says, 2 are better than 1. Do you believe that? 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If you take one person and you put him here and give him a task, and then you take 2 people and give both of them the same task, my money is that these 2 are going to finish it better and quicker than number 1. Not because they're better, but because there's 2 hands on it. Now, someone might argue, yeah, but I bet this guy will actually, take, if you compare this one to that one and this one to that one, he's doing better. Yeah, but 2 guys can outdo one. That's the probability. A true friend is not someone that you just smile and shake hands with. That's any stranger. A true friend is going to be someone who helps you to be a successful in life. And it's going to help you accomplish things because they want what's best for you. There's a better return for their work. So if you go to work and you've got a coworker and you're friendly and you're laughing and you're enjoying each other's company, but you never really do anything in their life that's going to make them better at what they do. You never try to advance their career or do something for them, and they're never really trying to improve you, then you don't really have co-working friends, you just have co-workers. If you have neighbors down the street and you go, oh yeah, that's my friend, yeah, he lives a few blocks down, that's a good buddy of mine, but he never does anything to help you in the neighborhood. He never goes and gets your mail when you're gone on vacation or helps you keep watch over some teens that have been causing trouble in the backyard or whatever it is. That's a true friendship whenever you care enough about someone to be there to improve their life. Who are your church friends? It's not just the ones that smile and shake your hand and give you a hug. It's the ones who actually improve your spiritual life. And they want you to succeed in your faith. It's someone who's giving you a better return for your work. And boy, the more hands you can get on a project, the more you can get done. You want to have good friends. Now, many of you know my wife left me this last week. She will return, don't worry. She took the kids to go visit her mom. She's going on vacation. And so I've been home alone. Home alone. I've been experiencing the joy of having a quiet house, which means I get to do whatever I want. They leave, and a couple days go by, and then a third day. And I went down to the basement this last week, and I looked over and went, oh no, I forgot all about our dehumidifier. I don't know why I need a dehumidifier in my life. I don't really understand, but my wife thinks I needed one. So we have one, but I never touch it. That is my oldest daughter's job, is to pull out that little pan and throw that bucket of water away and put it back in so the dehumidifier is sucking all the moisture out of the air. Well, it's not going because I never thought about doing it. And I went, oh man. So I pull it out, I take it over, it's full. I dump out all the water and I go and I put this little tray back. And as I'm putting it back, I start going, oh, there's a lot of chores that happen at the house. We've divvied up all these responsibilities amongst so many people. Is it possible I'm forgetting? Would everyone right now raise your right hand? Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I promise I will not tell Rachel I'm putting this back. I'm going, what are there other chores I might be forgetting right now? Let's see, mail and trash, and Carrea usually does dishes. Yeah, she does the kitchen. Yeah, that's nothing there. Okay, and I'm going through Rachel's chores. I'm like, yeah, and okay, I think I'm doing everything. And I'm walking up the stairs, and I get into the kitchen, and I go, my son's chores. The guinea pig! There's a guinea pig in this house! Oh no! The guinea pig's name is Cookie. This guinea pig has not eaten now for days. I'm going, okay, Cookie! Cookie, I'm coming! I run up the stairs. Now, guinea pigs squeak when they're hungry, but he's so used to having Nadon feed him that he only is squeaking for Nadon now. So he's just been quiet this whole time. I come in going, I'm expecting to have this dead rodent here. I'm going, how am I explain to my son, sorry son, I didn't feed him. I mean, this is horror. I come over and I'm like, Cookie! And Cookie comes out. He's like he's a little bit scrawnier than he has been. I'm like, here, eat! I'm dumping in pellets. I'm dumping in hay. Have all the food you want. I'll change your cage. Just eat. Oh, man. You know, two are better than one. Two are. Because that's twice as many people that can remember something. That's twice as many people with gifts and abilities, twice as many talents. It's twice as many people that can pick up the slack. And if you have a good friend, that's one of the characteristics that you're going to have of a good friend, is they're going to make you a better man and a better woman. That's a friend. Not just someone you enjoy, but someone that you go, my life is better. I'm getting more done and accomplishing more because they are in my life. Do you have a friend like that? Number 2, it says, if either of them falls down, one can help the other up. My joke, but pity the fool. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Here's the reality. Every single person in this room is going to fall down because you're human. You're going to blow it. You're going to make a really dumb decision. You might give in to temptation, and you might sin in a terrible way. A life-wrecking kind of way. You're going to blow it. I'm going to blow it. I know the end of the story already. I'm going to disappoint you. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I will try my best, but I am human just like you are, and we will always disappoint each other. The question is not whether or not I'm going to fall down or whether or not you're going to fall down. The question is who's going to be around to pick us back up. A wise man told me one day a quote that I've always thought about when it comes to friendship. He said, you never lose your true friends, but you do end up learning who your true friends are. You never lose your true friends, but you do end up learning who they actually are. And your true friends are there for you when you're down. They find you out and they pick you up. Do you have someone in your life that's there for you when you fall? Don't be the person who's pitied. Find someone who will be there for you. Find someone who will help you, and make sure you're that kind of friend. That when your friends fall, you're there for them. And they learn that when they need you, they can count on you. I had a lot of joy calling Vicki Fry from her surgery she had this week because she was so grateful for the friend she has at church that drove her to the hospital. She was so grateful that someone that she could count on could do that for her. I tell you, there's going to come a time when you need someone else in your life. And we need to make sure that we have those friendships ready for us. The next says, number 3, Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Two people, when you put them together and you need to stay warm, if you have two, it's easier. That body heat will keep you warm, especially if you're married to Rachel Kleeman. She's got a ton of body heat to share. Just all this heat emanating from her. It's like, ooh, it's Rachel's superpower is her body heat. She can just shoot that body heat out. When you're all by yourself, even Rachel Kleeman can get cold. And every one of us needs a friend in our life who's there for us to give us warmth when we need it. This is obviously not talking about physical warmth, but it's talking about warmth of the heart. I was at a funeral a few years ago. There was a man who was probably in his 50s. His mother had died. One of his friends had moved away all the way to Florida. And so he was here in Missouri at the funeral. But not too many people have shown up yet. And he looked out through the funeral home glass doors into the parking lot. And he went, "Oh, no, he didn't come all this way." There's this friend that drove all the way from Florida to be with his friend. And I watched this man, I'm standing right next to him. He went so fast. Doors open all the way. He barged out into that parking lot. And when he got to his friend, he just embraced him. And that is a warmth and a touch everyone needs. You need a friend that would be willing to drive states just to give you a hug. And you need to be that kind of a friend that's willing to come into other people's life and to give them the same kind of warmth that they need. Finally, also, if two lie down together, verse 12. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. I've heard this used at weddings before, haven't you? I've heard this at weddings where they, in fact, I've even done a few weddings where they had a cord of 3 strands, and one was blue and one was red. Has anyone been to a wedding that's seen that? And one was white, and the white represented God, and the blue is the groom, and the red is the bride. They would weave them together. What do you call the braid? They would braid it together, and then they'd put it in some picture box or something afterwards. But it's all symbolic, and they use this. This is actually talking about friendship. And one person can be overpowered, especially if all they can see is what's in front of them. But if you could give that person a friend who would have their back and would be armed this way also, man, you just got a little stronger. You get 3 people, you start getting a force. You have some good, strong soldiers at your side, and someone who's willing to have your back, that's when you're ready for battle. And when Solomon wrote this, he's writing this as the son of David. A man who had a heart for God, but a man who understood loyalty. And he understood what it meant to have someone's back. And I'm not going to talk bad about my friends. That's the part of David that's probably his strongest characteristic. David was hiding in a field one day when his good friend Jonathan came to find him. Do you know this story? And Jonathan came and found him and said, "David, there you are. I am so sorry, my father is trying to kill you." And David said, "I know. I have to get out of here." And Jonathan said, "I am so sorry, but I want you to know this cannot come between us. Our friendship's got to be stronger than the sin of my father." And David and Jonathan did something that day. They made a vow to each other. They committed themselves to each other and said, I'm going to have your back, and you're going to have my back. And neither one of us will do each other harm. And David even vowed he would never harm Jonathan's family. His dad's trying to kill him. And David vows, I will not harm your father. David leaves, and David has chance after chance to kill King Saul, as King Saul's trying to kill him. And David won't touch him because he made a promise to his friend. And after Saul finally dies in battle, and after Jonathan died in battle, David went out and did the unthinkable and found the former king's grandson, Jonathan's son Mephibosheth. And instead of killing him, which is what kings are supposed to do, get rid of the competition, David kept his vow and said, Mephibosheth, you can sit at my table because I am going to honor my vow. I'm going to keep my word and remain loyal to my friend. You want a friend who's loyal to you, of someone who will have your back and will fight for you. And if someone came in this room right now and you weren't here and they started talking bad about you, that's not your friend. You want friends that will always speak well of you. I want to always speak well of everyone at Miles City because you're my friends. And I'll be honest, Satan can come in my life. I'm a talker. And sometimes there can be juicy things to share. He's going to come in some point. He's going to try to tempt me into tearing down my friends. And I need to be committed to you because that's what friendship is. It's loyalty. One can be overpowered. But two, that's harder. Three, look out. We could take on the world. That's the kind of friendship you want. And if you look at all of these characteristics, they all have this in common. Here's the main ingredient, that a friend is consistently always there for you. Go find friends like that.